My big brother was 5 years older than me, but only 3 years ahead of me at school. He had begun school at the same age as I had, but he did not like to be in undue haste in such an important matter as education. He wanted to lay a very solid foundation so that a magnificent structure could be raised upon it. So he spent 2 years where only one was needed, and sometimes even 3. How can one raise a strong building on a weak foundation? I was 9, and he was 14. When he was in class 9, I was in class 5. It was his birthright to admonish me, and I was expected to accept his commands as the law. My elder brother was studious by nature, always glued to his books. I never felt at home with books. To sit with a book for an hour was like climbing a mountain. At the first opportunity, I would walk out of the hostel into the open ground and toss pebbles into the air or fly paper butterflies, and I felt happier still if I could find a companion. We would jump across the walls or ride upon the gates and swing them to and fro to enjoy a motor ride. But the moment I returned to the room, I would freeze in my tracks to see my brother's red face. His first question would be, "Where have you been?" Always the same question, in the same tone, and my answer was silence. I don't know why I couldn't tell him that I had just gone out to play. My silence proclaimed that I'd accepted my crime, and my brother would greet me with indignant words. "If you study like this, you will learn nothing. Learning English is no child's play. Otherwise everybody and his cousin would be regular experts in English. You have to strain your eyes and drain your blood. Only then can one attain this knowledge. Even great scholars can't write correct English. And you are such a blockhead that you don't learn from my example. See how hard I work. Have you ever seen me going out to attend any shows and fairs? Even then I am stuck in each class for 2 to 3 years. You will fritter your whole life away studying in one class. Why waste father's hard-earned money?" Listening to this tongue-lashing, I would burst into tears. My brother was an expert at the art of giving advice. His pointed comments, like aphoristic arrows, would pierce my heart and demoralize me. I would sink into hopelessness and think of going home. Why should I waste my life doing something that was beyond my powers? My head would reel, but after a few hours, I would overcome this state of despondency and pledge to devote myself to studies. In no time, I would work out a timetable. The timetable: get up at 6 in the morning, wash, have breakfast, and sit down to study. English from 6 to 8, arithmetic from 8 to 9, history from 9 to 9:30, then food, and to school. Return from school at 3:30, relax for half an hour, geography from 4 to 5, grammar from 5 to 6, a half-hour stroll in front of the hostel, then eat, translation from 8 to 9, Hindi from 9 to 10, miscellaneous subjects from 10 to 11, then sleep. But to make a timetable is one thing, to put it into practice another. The violation would begin on the very first day. The green fields, the gentle breeze, the run and chase in football, the speed and quickness in volleyball, all these would drag me out and I would forget everything. And my brother would get his opportunity to admonish and sermonize. Even then, I was not able to give up play. The annual examinations ended. My brother failed and I passed, securing the first position in the class. Now he was just 2 classes ahead of me. For a moment I thought of giving him a piece of my mind, but he was so heartbroken that I sincerely sympathized with him, and I gained a certain amount of self-esteem. I began to participate freely in games and sports. If he tried to meddle, I would tell him plainly, "I have obtained the first position even while playing and having fun." Even though I had not the courage to speak out with such insolence, it was clear from my demeanor and actions